All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Ismortah, and this morning during my Saturday morning, 9 a.m. CST, in this case, board game stream, I'll be showing you another unboxing video. Gonna be showing you FrostPunk, the board game. Now, you might realize that sounds a little familiar. That's because FrostPunk originally came out on Steam as a Steam game. It might be on other platforms now, I'm not sure. I know there was a couple expansions that came out for the game, and they're going to come out with a new version of the game here soon, I believe this year. But themed on the original game is FrostPunk, the board game. Now this did come out on Kickstarter, so if you back Kickstarter, you might already have it, but now it's finally available at retail. So it just came out starting this weekend for retailers. And so that's how I got the game. So I'm going to show you what's in the game and all the pieces and everything you get. So again, it's an unboxing video. I'll be showing you everything that's in the game. In the future, I might have a later stream showing you like how to play, or even me taking a run through the game, since you can play the game solo. It's 1 to 4 players. This is a ginormous game, as you can see. It's actually a really heavy box, not as heavy as KDM, but it is very heavy. I would say it's probably comparable to, if even heavier than Twilight Imperium 4th edition. It's very compact, a lot of paper, some plastic. And it is 18 plus, so I don't know if you've played the game before, either this or the Steam game. It is mature, so regardless of the components, it does have mature content. And of course, if you like what you're seeing here and want to see future videos of this or video games or other unboxings or how to plays or me actually taking a stab at these games, be sure to follow here on twitch.tv/Ismortah. And also, if YouTube's more your thing, you can also catch the video the next day at Shadow Balance Games. All right, let me just make sure you guys can hear me okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. Right. Cool, so this unboxing, like I said, it's a heavy game. A lot of stuff, so it'd be interesting, all things that are in it. Let me show you. One, it says here are the contents. And then also on the back, you get a for instance of what to expect. So you see there's a ginormous center miniature if you've played the Steam game before, which is critical to your civilization's survival. Then it's tile-based, but then you also have wooden meeples to represent the different resources and players, which are also a resource in the game. And then you'll have a lot of cards to show you stuff you've collected, stuff you've upgraded, and probably conditions to happen in the game as well. Alexa, I'm not going to go into how to play the game. This will just be what you get in the game, what comes out of the box. But I expect that in the future as well as me trying to beat the game. All right, so let's get this puppy opened. See what's inside. And if you noticed a cut on my right wrist, it's not me trying to do something by myself, because that's not how you do it. Nor me doing anything with this. It's, I think last night when I was playing with my cat, his back foot went and got me. So there is no danger to this or opening the game. That was my fierce yet kind kitty. All right. Yeah, I just want to stress it is a really heavy game, so be careful packing and moving it, because you don't want to accidentally bust stuff because of the weight. If you drop it or move it, it's probably going to crush other games that are near it. I have to say, like, I really do love the opening new cardboard paper smell. It's like new car. It's like, it's pretty great. All right, so looks like you got a rule book that's very complex, but this is a very complex game. I'll flip through this. Like I said, like this is, I'm not going to go through how to play the game because even I don't know. Scenario book, all the different missions, things that happen and set up probably. Which is also pretty big, so that's pretty cool. A lot of content. This looks like player board's quick guide on different things you can do in the game, which even itself you can see is a well, wall of text. Let me get some better shots of what you see here. I'll flip through it. But here's the scenario book. This is the rule book. All right, so now you got just a horde of shit. Hordes and hordes and hordes of shit. Like just a shit ton of punch. This is all punch. Just God knows how many sheets of punch. 10 maybe? Lot of tokens. Which again, we'll flip through. Here you have, looks like a tracker for civilization of stuff. It's double-sided, not sure why that is. Probably just because they had print on both sides, and why not? I don't see any distinct difference. Here you have, which I'm always a fan of, double-sided punch, only because then when you place stuff on the board, it stays in place. So that's one of the things I really liked about this game is just the production quality. In fact, you have a lot of different oohs and ahs. Here's some more double-sided punch. Huge fan. I don't know what any of this stuff means. I just know it looks cool. That's all I did, show you cool. More double-sided punch shit. So like you can play, well in this case, there's nothing holding cards in place, but you can tell you place a card here, a tarot card, tracker. This is not double-sided. I mean, this is not double punch, but it's double-sided. Some other sort of tracker. There's so many things here. Here you have some other boards. But this is a really interesting way to make a longer board instead of having it fold. Is you just have it be like puzzle pieces to hold it in place. It's pretty cool. More boards for stuff. You see, just from boards and double-sided boards, one of these I have to open up, but you see just a lot. And not just like boards you play on, not these punch sheets that have all these different tokens. Wow, there's all sorts of shit in here. Definitely could throw this away. That's to keep it dry. This is just a spacer to keep stuff from rattling around. Now you can see the inside, it's a lot more shit. And what I really like about this is that there's many different types of components. So it's not just, hey, I have board and cards. You have all sorts of different things to play with, which is cool. All right. What'll be interesting to see is if there's a way to pack this after the fact without having to be just a clusterfuck of madness. Like, is there a place to put all of these sheets of tokens and shit? Again, I'll go through that. We're just getting everything out. All right, so it looks like you do have, throw that away, some little small bags. It's probably because you do a blind draw to determine, like, drawing tokens or some shit. So that's interesting. I don't remember what this signifies in the game. I remember this one had something to do with, at the point in the game when you're trying to, I'll just say, prevent civil unrest, I'll say. So you got some bags. You have a bunch of slots for cards. which probably include if you get upgrades to the game, which there are multiple expansions. So that's interesting. It looks like there are space for things. I just wonder if there's space for all these fucking tokens. So it'd be interesting if it says in the book how to put this back. So here's a bunch of cards for scenarios. This one has some other things that happen. Another one. Sorry, I should put it the right orientation. But like I said, I'll go through the minutia. Or I don't know, maybe I won't, because this will give away scenarios. I am conflicted, because some of this is actual story content, so, I'll think about that. I might just show you what you get in the box and not go through the minutia of all the cards like I normally do, just because this does have story stuff in it. But these are all different packs of things you get. Okay, so just cards, a lot. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to do that. Maybe I'll go through all the punch, but the cards, maybe not, because it could be some spoilerage in there. Here you got some meeple trees. That's a resource. All the resources are probably meeples. Some dudes to make shit, probably. Black cubes is probably the ore. Here you have the little worker bots you can have go and do stuff. I remember that from the game. Just signify some other dudes. You have like green dudes, blue dudes, different type of workers, it looks like. Well, the cool thing about meeples, if not a huge fan, is it's just a way to add, you know, when people keep talking about the 4D experience, just to add depth to the game board without using a standee. So you can see like a shape of a dude you're breaking out instead of having this be a flat token. Like there's some games that put printed on sides of meeples, for example. But yeah, these look like tree stumps. I would say this is what it looks like. Here, more meeples. Wow, these actually cut out with holes in it. That is something I haven't seen before. I've seen printed meeples, but not also small cuts all the way through. Look at those watchtowers. And it's not black, it's actually cut all the way through. Or maybe I'm mistaken, maybe it's an optical illusion. Let me take one out. That's what it looks like though. No, they are cut all the way through because I can see light on the other side. See how you can see the game board behind it, through it? Wow, that's really fucking cool. I didn't realize that's something factories could do. Wow, that is fucking cool. Like I said, the components in this game. So I don't know what these components mean, but it's also something I entertained in one of my games that I'm working on. The fact that you have a basically a token with a hole in it. That way you can multi-purpose and put other things in it. Like, you know, like another token, a die, or put it in something. And this is a meeple that they've cut that way. That's pretty cool. Sup, Zerikin? Thanks for joining. Here's more dudes. They're shaped. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it looks like it's more dudes. More meeple dudes. Most likely something you use as a resource. Because in this game, there aren't, like, there might be a couple avatar characters, but it's mostly you're manning the civilization, having people do stuff. So let me do an overview of all the bags of just, these are all meeples. A lot of meeples. Oh my god. Meeples. I don't want to do like, you see on Dice Tower dropping all the shit, because that just scares the shit out of me, but ton of meeples, ton of cards, ton of player boards and double punch, ton of punch sheets, couple bags, couple books. And lastly, we have this ginormous miniature, which is coming in pieces, has a couple other pieces to it, which I don't know what it represents or where it's placed. But you have this ginormous, oh, it's upside down, center steam vat. That's the main thing you're trying to protect in the game, because it supplies the heat, and you're in like negative 100 degrees and shit. So it's like, without this, your whole civilization dies. Critical. Not only to powering stuff in your civilization, but providing enough heat to protect the people. You have to make other structures to then also, you know, shelter and, what's the word? Contain the heat that you're being produced in different sections, but this produces the power and the heat that you need. So anyway, one thing that's drew me to this game, and I'll move shit back to the center now, is just all the different types of pieces, which just makes the game cool. Like, the structures are plastic, all of the workers are wooden meeples, everything you do is with cards, everything you do it on is using punch. So just like thematically different type of thing in the game is different type of material, which I just thought was pretty cool, as you can see here. And they have rule books and guides. A lot of shit. So let me throw this shit away, and then we'll go through some of this other material, a little more minutia. Like I said, I'll probably open the packs of cards to show you an overview, but I'm not going to show you card by card like I normally do, only because this has story-specific things. And part of the fun is getting a new card at different points in time, and then seeing, oh shit, what does that do, right? Kind of like we get new items in a video game. Or encounter new characters, and you don't know what they're capable of. All right, so let's go back to, so I don't know if these are the probably upgrades to this, possibly. Or maybe you slide it in somewhere. That looks like slots, holds it in place. But anyway, that's the plastic structure. It's huge. To give context on just how big this is actually one of the biggest miniatures that I own. Besides like Armada ships, like Super Star Destroyer, is like, here's a card. LCG size card. And that's how tall it is. That's pretty big. All right. So let me double back. So like I said, there's miniature, the meeples we kind of went through, the cards we'll go through. Let's see what we got here. Let's say we're doing time. I don't want this to be super long, just want to show you all the types of production level shit you get in the game. All right, 20 minutes. All right, so here, for example, is one of the sheets. So you see, it's just a lot of tokens. You punch this out. You don't keep it on these boards. This is all the shit you need. Ton of shit. This I'll go through so you can see all different tokens. But it's all stuff you can punch out now just so you have them. 100%. Plus just stuff like this, which is the tiles for the game board, which you'll need. And depending on when you find stuff or discover stuff or build stuff, you'd then probably place different tiles in the game. But yeah, you could spend a good amount of time just getting all this shit out. So it's a lot. Let's see, here there's some other tokens and the borders to the game board that you construct. That's modular. But this is also why the game is so heavy, because there's so much paper. Paper is actually heavier than plastic, even though plastic is, you could say, more indestructible because it's hollow. Whereas paper, just like a tree, is very dense. That's why it's heavier. All right, so that is all of the punch sheets, which I'm going to, off stream, get all of it out and then figure out how to put it back. All right, we've already gone through all of these meeples again. About to show you again how many different flavors you get here. These are all bags of meeples, wooden meeples. Again, what a meeple is it has like depth to it as opposed to a token. So you can make a shape and then it has depth to it so you can pick it up easily. And then have it sitting up like this, which is pretty cool. You got the 2 bags of how you use. I have no idea. Typically, when you have bags like this, it's so you can blind draw and you don't know what you're going to get. Especially if you're doing something like tokens that you want to earn. This is the way to do it. That way it's randomized. Like, I don't know if you've played Fury of Dracula. That's a game that should have had included a bag. Because when it has the train tickets, the fact that you have to keep shuffling it by having them all upside down and you have to do manual crap and then add it back to the pile, which is a tell you know what it is. If they just put everything in a bag, then you just blind draw a token ticket. And that's how I play the game, if you ever play Fury of Dracula with me. Just because it makes the worlds easier. Alright, we'll do cards last. We'll do showing you some other shit last. I already showed you this dude. And this, just so you're aware, is not heavy because it's hollow. It just, the size and the shape is really cool. To add that depth to the game board so it doesn't look flat. And this is kind of like how big it was when you're playing the game on Steam, is you have this huge structure and then all these little people trying to support it below. Adds to the immersion, which is cool. All right, so I've shown you all of these double punch. And some of these are single punch, but it's like really high quality boards. I love it. Like I said, fan of the double punch. This is a cool way to create boards without having to fold it. This is something that you would also see if you ever played Outer Rim, is use puzzle pieces to connect cardboard to create your own custom shaped board, which is pretty cool. So you get all that. But I want to open up this to see why, and like, what's the point of having a corrugated board to hold this in place? Like, this is a little weird. So let's open this. And again, if you like what you see, you want to see future content, or you have comments about what you're seeing in this video, be sure to follow here on twitch.tv/Ismortah. And you can catch the YouTube video, like I said, in a day on Shadow Balance Games. And again, while I'm opening this, I do stream Saturdays and Sundays. And same times, 9 a.m. Central. I will tell my followers on Patreon and Twitter and Twitch what the upcoming schedule is going to be as far as content. If you check me out there. Sometimes I don't stream, but I'll let you know what I stream and when I'm not streaming. You can find me on Twitter at Shadow Balance. And Patreon /Ismortah. If you want to support the stream. So it looks like you got some more double punch here. I'm not sure why they supported it all weird like they did. But again, it's like the double punch. It's just really cool. I just really love the look, and then stuff stays in place. I love it. In this case, what you see, which is pretty cool, is not only do you have the holes for placing these tokens, but the finger holes to get them out. So you can keep doing the upgrades, whatever this is, and then yet hold it in place and get it out. These are probably for the individual, these don't have finger holes because these are probably for like the individual like black cubes, which you can just pick up from the top. But again, I'm just a fan. Cool usability and looks nice. Smells nice. So looks like you got 2 of those. I'm not sure why they support a unique like that. Maybe just because I had a weird shape and I was worried about this stuff bending. Not sure. All right, so punch, wooden meeples, punch sheets, huge miniature. All right. So I just want to open up these packs of cards just to show you, kind of thumb through what's here. I'm not going to show you individually because there might be spoiling stuff in the game in this case. Actually, maybe I'm not even going to open these. I'll show you the front and back. And since they'll be on different cards, you won't know what they go to. So again, here is the front, like one of these. The back. Looks like it's like a progression through the wilderness. And then whereas this looks like maybe people you find. Here you have, it's called an expedition card, which is, you don't know what it is, so they have common backs. Here you have, looks like some sort of event, like Call to Rise. Blind Draw, it's probably events that happen in the game. Here you have a scenario, things that happen. Blind Draw. And that's a huge thing about this game too, is you're trying to not only balance health and well-being and staying alive and morale, but also you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So you're planning, it's like chess. You're planning for what might happen in the future before it happens. Because like if the temperature drops and you're not prepared, you're instantly fucked. If you're not prepared for a riot or, I don't know, some sort of like intruder attack, then you're just already fucked. It's preparing for stuff before it happens. This looks like things that happen at different times of day. And depending on the location, maybe, you could see it's, for example, this is called the arcs. So maybe different locations, different things can happen and at different times of day. Like in here's dusk, for example. And that was morning. So yeah, like I said, whereas I normally shoot absolutely every component, in this case, I'm not going to because this could be spoiling. Because there are different events and things that happen, right? So I'll leave that to you. The last thing I want to show you are these books and player guides. So let me go ahead and open up this guy, which should be guides or quick reference is what this looks like. Whereas again, this is the rule book for gross detail, how to play the game, and these are different scenarios. All right, so this should just be a flap. Yeah, this game, just looking at like I said, I've compared to Twilight Imperium. I can see there's like tons of rules, tons of components, tons of setup, but that just also means tons of fun. It just, you have to get past the setup and figuring out how to play the game. All right, so this looks like there's a whole bunch of guides or these different types of people. These looks like different cards for different types of advisors. That's all I could say. So this, for example, the health advisor, and there's a back saying on stuff that can happen. Here's a generator advisor and stuff you can do. Foreman advisor, the stuff you can do. Social advisor. I don't even remember how advisors worked in the game, but looks like it's a whole thing. So these, unless each player is a different type of advisor, maybe, is what the players represent, because you have 4 of these. Maybe, not sure, could be. That would make sense since it's telling you what you can do in the game and all the steps. And a lot of this has a lot of duplicating information, possibly. All right, and then here is scenario book. This I'm definitely not going to flip through just because it could be spoilage. But there's a lot of cool, looks like art in the book. It tells you how to set up different scenarios. And some reference on when to place different things based on things that happen, etc. Not going through this in detail in case this story gated. And then the last thing is the rule book. So the rule book is 44 pages. There's a quick reference to limits in the back, which is handy. But yeah, there's a lot of things. Like it's telling you how all the different tokens work, how to set shit up, how to do basically everything in the game, sickness, hunger, times a day, the different phases. Here's an overview of everything you get in the game. And basically what you do in the game. You make laws, shape society, weigh your choices, develop new technologies, explore the Frostland. But yeah, FrostPunk is a really fun game. I do recommend it. Even like just the original, that's the only one I've played. It's a lot of fun. I believe when I played it, I put in like 80 hours or something. And that game's a real-time strategy game. So if you take too long to think, bad shit's going to happen. So it'll be interesting to see if there's some sort of time gate on this game as well. Or if just you can only do so many different you can only do one action per turn and you can't do everything at the same time. Which is another way you can gate making poor decisions, because as time ticks, you're not doing stuff. But FrostPunk also punishes you in the Steam game because analysis paralysis. So it's interesting if that's a factor in this game or not as well. But yeah, that is everything. It's a lot of shit. Don't forget about this guy. He's huge. But no, thanks for watching. There's a lot of stuff. Definitely a game I'm excited about trying out, and I'll definitely do a how to play in a future stream because this game looks like it's very complex. That'd be nice to have, and I definitely look forward to playing this either with people I can find local, or maybe even Anacris TV, or maybe even solo. Like I said, this game is 1 to 4 players, and look, this game says it takes only 2 hours to play, but that's assuming you know what you're doing. So I presume this first game's probably take 3 hours from analysis paralysis and is 18 plus. Not only because some small items, which only make it 14 plus, but it's because of the content. There is death and suffering, as you may expect. Well, thanks for watching. Again, this is Ismortah, and I'll catch you next time.